Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. This is stage 1 of the Sea Breeze going coastal. And boy, oh boy, was this a effort. I decided to take a quick break from my Lacole climbing experience. I've gotten about almost 2,000 meters of elevation in the last handful of days and wanted to do something flat. So I decided to take a crack at the Sea Breeze races, thinking that, hey, it's a flat stage. Category D, shouldn't be pushing too hard. And boy, was I wrong. This group went off like a rocket. As you'll see here coming up in 10-15 seconds. Definitely a great group to ride with. Pushed a lot harder than I anticipated, and my legs were on fire from the get-go. As you can see here, pushing almost 400 watts out the gate. Held that for a little bit, and when I stopped pedaling, or when I slowed down my pedaling, I realized, like, ooh, this is gonna hurt, because these guys were on it. We really didn't drop that pace, that 200 to 250 watt, for a while. And so my goal was to try and stay with the group here and just as best as I can keep up. Obviously, I ended up in the front a lot because that's how I race. Not my goal, not my plan ever, but I don't like to stay in the back. I'm always concerned that I'm going to end up in a split. And as you can see, someone here went off the front, but nobody reacted, which I was happy about, because we kind of knew that it was going to come back together instinctually, I guess. And so everybody just maintained their pace, and little by little, we just kept it rolling. And this is the pace we maintained. Where I'm feeling myself going back and forth between gears, trying to stay with this group. As you can see, we split here for a second because of that little slight incline, and so I'm trying to stay with this front group, and I keep having to switch gears back and forth on the rear cog that I'm on, just to try and keep a balance between staying in the low 200s, do my best not to go into the mid 200s, but every time I shift up, I end up 220, 230, 250, and when I drop the gear down, end up in the low 200s, which for a while was helping me out, but it was tough. My legs were on fire trying to maintain this pace. And so of the Tempest Bugate Desert route, this is probably my least favorite part, because it's such a long, flat stretch that you have to keep your pace high in order to keep going, in order to keep up. And so I was doing my best not to use my power up, because everybody, you would have seen earlier, everybody just kind of slammed on the power up at what point. And I feel like if you're using it early on in a race, then that's kind of showing that, you know, you might not have the legs to keep up. And so I didn't want to give too much away, even though I was in pain. I just wanted to keep on going. And then this is where I start to use my power up, because I knew getting up over that first hump was going to take some effort, because this is where the pain really started. This is where we started going through those up and down undulations. And while my legs were hurting, I feel like this is the best place that I can show off why I love my bike so much. That felt FR with the DT Swiss wheels, I feel like is the best combination for this type of terrain. because as you'll see, while I may be on the back of the group most of the time, it takes very little effort for me to go up to the front, going up these hills. And I always just keep kind of bouncing back and forth between back of the group, and then as the hills come, I start to put some effort on the pedals, and I'm back up front. And so we keep kind of this circulating group of people that you can start to see who's emerging as the, first, the top 10 racers. And after this sprint here, even though, I put some power to keep up front, you can see the effort that some of the guys are putting. They were just really on it. And there's a couple of guys that start to launch off the front that no one really not necessarily put in the effort to bring them back, but no one really challenged them to stay up, to bring them back and whatnot. So we're just in this glob, kind of floating back and forth, and you can see those couple riders off the front, and they're going. They're, we're putting some okay watts going up and down these 1, 2, 3% hills, but you can see they're holding hard on the front. And so we just keep this roundabout, flowing group of back and forth, which I guess that might be a sign of inexperience, that we're all just kind of back and forth flowing through these hills. And then you see those couple guys go off the front here because we're getting closer towards the end. And where I was at here is I'm just gonna finish top 10. I did not want to try and take first place. My legs were tired. As you can see from my heart rate, I was almost at my max. I can get into the low 190s, but upper 170s, low 180s is basically I'm out of breath. And that, and that's what I felt like the whole ride. I just couldn't catch my breath. And so launched my power up here, knowing that I could do a decent sprint, get some momentum, and I start pulling forward on this group. I was looking at what place I'm in, and so I'm creeping into the top 10, and so I decided to push another effort just so I can slide into the top 10 as best I can. Even though this isn't my full max sprint, I was just cooked. And again, if you look, you can see I'm coasting up the hill and I'm still maintaining a good place. And that's really all to do with my bike and my wheels. It's such a great bike to ride with, because going uphill, I don't know how to explain it. You coast uphill with minimal effort, and you end up, outperforming others that may be putting more effort down. So it's just a great bike combination. End up in 8th place, which is, again, where I want it to be. Top 10 finish, 6th place. Last time I checked was with power. So hope you enjoyed the ride, and I will see you next time.